puppy dog.
Hello, hi. He's been a little clingy today. Hello.
He's sniffing the mic. Was there a little bit of ASMR? We'll find out. Your hat says Midwest Princess, and I know that it's Chapel, but you're not Midwestern.
This was the only cute thing Chapel had at the concert, so...
I saw Nick was wearing the
camo hat.
Baseball hat version of it. I'm like, that makes sense because he's from Indiana, but you're from Pennsylvania. That is not the Midwest.
All of her stuff said Midwest Princess on it, though.
I know. Well, I don't know, actually.
No,
there could be other stuff for other songs or something.
That was just me clapping. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It has been a day.
It's been a week.
It's been...
been a while.
It's been a lot of things. But we're here.
We're here. And yeah, Alex has started her musical. That's a thing that has happened since the last time we have podcasted. Sammy K and I are going tomorrow night.
Oh, you guys are?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. So
I'm excited to get back into it, honestly, but I'm also very excited to have my weekends back. But this is a good show, and I really love my cast, and I've already posted once about it because I was so excited. So this weekend I'll probably do some more, like, behind-the-scenes content, because I did a whole, like, little behind-the-scenes for the first half of it, like, rehearsals to the first weekend, and I was just going to do it for, like, one big overarching one, but then I was like tired of just having all these random videos on my phone, and I was like, This will push me because Saturdays are double shows, so I'm hoping to do like some covers in between shows, or like because we have the place to ourselves, or like little things like that, like get ready with me for 2 show days, or little things.
Oh, I played Swift Artist last night, so that was fun. They asked a while ago if anyone was willing to use or let them use their sound equipment, so that way they can kind of broaden their horizons as far as venues go. So I got to play sound person at the same time. Realized my thing is there's 6 inputs on the back, and it says there's 8 technically, but it's like inputs 5/6 are like a stereo channel, and so those inputs are that, and then 7 and 8 really is just the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So the 5 and 6 you can't do as like individual ones. They're gonna be under one fader.
Yeah.
So there's no good way to do that with a vocal and guitar, because the guitar is gonna definitely be too loud for the vocal. So I had to just keep muting one of the guitar cables and have the second and third person just switch back and forth. So, and adjust, because the guitars are very different levels. Like the second round, the one guy, I had it at like negative 12 dB, and then the girl was at 12 like plus dB. So I had to keep adjusting the guitar every single time. So yeah, that was a learning experience.
Yeah.
But I have a soundboard that I need to figure out how to connect to it, because like it's one of Sam's old ones or something. So I might be able to figure out for next month, because I'm providing sound again, how to avoid that happening again.
Yeah.
They're like, it's fine, it worked well. I'm like, I was embarrassed. So
I technically have equipment, I just don't feel like hauling it, and well, like if I don't have to, and I normally like to not leave early, but leave before the end of the night.
Well, I was in the last round, so I had to be there the whole time anyways.
Yeah.
And then we had a cancellation in the last round, so a girl in the second round played again and just played different songs. That was interesting. It also like torrential downpoured the whole way home, and luckily the sidewalk has a roof over it, and I was able to just like drive up into the handicap spot and put my stuff in with minimal water, trying to get in the trunk. But then my car tried to hydroplane like 4 times on the way home, so that was not fun.
Do you need new tires?
No, they're pretty new. I think it's, I don't know. And I wasn't trying to go fast. There's just so much water on the road.
Yeah.
So, on Briley, because once I got to the interstate, I didn't have any issues with it, but I was still trying to go slow. But it was scary. I didn't like it. Like, you gotta stop doing this, please.
Yeah.
Anything else before we hop in?
No, my battery just got changed outside.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
Because so I already knew I needed a new battery for my car, and on top of a lot of other car issues I've been having, there was these dogs on the road, and you don't know the story. I have to tell you. Okay, right. So what happened today was I was driving back home. So I go to not feed Ant. I go to just let him go to the bathroom during my lunch break, and then I go back to work. So I'm driving back to work from home, and there are these two dogs on the road, and I just saw the one, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lost dog on the street, like I gotta go save it, because my heart can't not go save a lost dog. So I pull into a parking lot, and then I see it crosses the street, and this is Gallatin Pike, which if you know Nashville is a very dangerous, like that whole street is a very busy lane. So I see this dog, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I try to cut across the street, all very safely, by the way. So I cross the street, pull into an empty parking lot, put my flashers on, turn off my car, and lock it. And I go and chase the dog. Well, the dog darts right out in front of a car. A car just barely missed hitting it. And then I cross the street with them to get them. They won't come near me. I can't go to them. They have me go all the way down the end of this neighborhood street. Finally, they sit on a porch step, and I try so hard to get. They have collars on. I'm just trying to see if they have a nameplate. One of the collars has a little bow on it, and they both have flea collars too. Okay. Well, it's very obvious they were out for a while because they were all muddy, and the one definitely had fleas, and they were itching themselves, and they were so matted, and the one definitely also looks like it might have gotten hit because it had a broken leg or something. It was so sad. So the one was protecting it, so she didn't let anyone get close to her. So it was a whole thing, and I felt so bad. And we're out in front of this house, and I try knocking on the window to get someone's attention. They must just not have been home, or they must have just been ignoring us, they're not our dogs, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's this couple that was with me the whole time that's also trying to help, because they're the ones that almost hit the dogs, and the girlfriend was like, you need to go help this girl save these dogs. So they followed me, and they end up calling, because I have nothing on me. I literally just grabbed my keys. I didn't even grab my phone. I didn't realize. Yeah. So they had their phone in the car with them, so they call. I said Wags and Walks is just down the street, in Hermitage. Can you try calling them? They called the Humane Society. Neither one of them answered. So then they just call Metro, which is the police department, and which I didn't realize people didn't know that until I was talking to my mom, and she's like, Metro, is that police? I said, yes, it's the police. Oh. So Metro gets there, and they get a hold of them, and we just leave the dogs on the steps. They seem like they're going to be there, and as we're walking back, Metro says that they just dispatched someone to come get the dog. So that made me feel good, and then I tried turning on my car, and I must have drained the battery. And I knew I was going to be driving all weekend, and I knew I needed a new battery, so I just had it replaced completely. So that has been my day, which is why we have beverages.
Wow. All because Alex wanted to save dogs.
I can't not save the dogs. I am the person. Well, here's my thing with it. Because I took a lot of sociology classes in high school and college. And I know that the bystander effect is a real thing. And so I would never want to be that person that did not take action, whether it was a human, whether it was an animal. I just can't sit still. I have begged my parents to follow what we thought were domestic abuse situations. I can't leave people. I am hey, something weird's going on over there. Hey, girl, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh my God, do you want to go get a drink over there? I am the girl in the bathroom that is are you what is wrong? I am that person. I take that stuff really seriously. And obviously, I rescued my dog, so it's really close to me to not, see a dog on the road and be because that could have been my dog. That probably was. I see pictures of how Ant came into the shelter, and he's muddy and that was probably my dog. Don't be the bystander. Don't let the bystander effect win people.
All right.
Save the dogs.
Save the dog. Alrighty. Should we get into the topic?
I'll put my drink down, too, so that...
All right, so... if you've been with us the last couple weeks, we started a guide to single releasing music in general, I guess. And then last week we did a little more of a deep dive into the music distribution part of it and the different companies, things like that. So we're going to go back to the actual guide part now and do the second half of that. Left off right before doing social media plan and promotion stuff. So we're going to start with that, which I think is part of, I mean, there's fun parts for all of it, but I think this is one of the more fun parts because you get to be creative with the music in a different way other than just like writing it.
It's fun thinking of all the ideas. And it can be fun to do said ideas, but sometimes
you don't.
It's like that, like, though, but oh my god, because you do look at it as work at the end of the day. So.
And I kind of feel like maybe doing the stuff that I talk about is going to be helpful of avoiding that burnout and stuff, of the idea of planning ahead and trying to have your stuff figured out. Figured out ahead of time, so that way you're not just like sitting around being like, I know I need to post, I know I need to promote this song, it's coming out soon, and I just don't know what to do. And then you just kind of put yourself in a situation where you're like decision paralysis of what to post, and then you just don't promote the song, and that's not good because then people aren't going to hear it as much.
Paralysis is such a great word. I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I think it's an ADHD thing.
It could be.
I think that's why, because I talk to my therapist about it a lot.
Okay.
That's why I have ADHD. That and a lot of other things, but.
Yeah, I probably need to like actually get a professional's like diagnosis of things. But I went on Talkspace. This is a tangent. I went on Talkspace and I think I just Googled like OCD tests, and I picked Talkspace because it's an online therapy place, so that felt like a credible source to take a test from. And I don't remember the exact scale. It was like 0 to 20 is like no, but 21 to whatever the highest number was is like OCD or OCD tendencies and stuff, and I was right at 21. I'm like, okay, we're going to call that tendencies, but not full-on OCD. Anyways, that was a tangent. I think just like making a plan in advance could hopefully help with that decision paralysis of giving yourself plenty of time to figure out what you want to do as far as creating posts, and then time to create it and figure out like a schedule for putting things out. Let's see what I actually have on here. What I do is I have like a spreadsheet and make kind of like a calendar with the spreadsheet for socials to try and plan out posts. So I use a spreadsheet that I like put like the date, what the post is, and then if I want to go into details of like even the caption and hashtags and which platforms I want to post to, and I'll like color code which posts are for which platform. And then I have like columns of check boxes for if it's like prepped, scheduled, and posted. Just to keep everything all in one place that you can visualize what you have planned. And that's a way that works for me, but it might not work for everyone. So you just gotta want to find a way that's gonna work for you to figure out how you want to schedule stuff out.
At one point, me, Katie, and our friend Sam had a spreadsheet going. I still use stuff.
That's where I have that.
Honestly, it was really helpful.
As far as like figuring out content and stuff, I would start with like the key important dates, and then you can kind of fill in the rest from there if you want to do more than just the key stuff. So like plan your release day post, and then like ones leading up to it, and also the announcement post, because unless you're doing a surprise drop, obviously you're going to be announcing it ahead of time. And we talked in the first part about pre-saves being important, so would recommend not doing a surprise drop unless you're like Taylor Swift. Which, if you're listening to this podcast, you are probably not. Not yet. You never know. So I kind of made like a little bullet point list of like key posts to include. So single announcement. If you don't have the cover art as part of that announcement, that can be an additional post that you do. An out now post, an out tonight post for the day before release. You could do a song credits post, and then also, if the pre-save link isn't live when you announce the song, that can be a separate post of like now available for pre-save. And then additional ones that you could do prior to release would be like X days or X weeks until the release, and teasing snippets of the song. Then a couple that are like either before or after release. It doesn't really matter when you do them, but just like extra content you could do is like behind the scenes content. So when you're recording the song, or even when you're writing it, if you want to do some content of capturing the making of the song, that's fun stuff that people can see after the fact of like, oh, how did this song go from this to this to this, and also like behind the song content. I did that with my album where I did like a telling the story of the song for each song on the project, so that's another content idea. And then I want to say I did this way back in 2021 like once and then forgot that this was a thing that you could do, but you could also like introduce your collaborators on a post of like different from a song credits thing. I thought of like, oh, this is the co-writers, and do a little bio or something about them, and this is the producer and all that stuff, just to have another thing to kind of promote the song but in a different way and add another layer to it. And then in addition to posts on social media, you're gonna want to do like a whole online presence refresh. The pizza's here. I don't know if Ant is in the video, but he is standing right by it.
He is here.
He might be just underneath, or maybe see little bits of him, but the pizza came, the doorbell rang for the pizza, so we're gonna start at that sentence again. I don't know what it will look like post editing. So in addition to like posting on social media, you're going to want to do a whole online presence refresh to match that new music and like match the whole aesthetic you're going for. Yes. So when you announce the song, that's kind of when I typically would change over all of the profile pictures, banners, match the new music, which is why in the first part I mentioned like even if you're not including yourself in the cover art, it's good to do a photo shoot, because now you have pictures to do this refresh, because you probably want yourself in your profile picture. You want to also edit your website to reflect the new aesthetic and have like on your homepage an announcement about the new music and a link to pre-save there as well. And edit all your social platforms bios to say that you have a song coming out on X date and have a pre-save link, or either directly or in a link tree, whichever way you prefer. I like having a link tree because then you can link to other things as well, because
I do
we
too,
have a lot going
but
on.
I've seen lately that people are like, stop giving me link trees.
Oh, okay, but they're aesthetically pleasing.
I
can
love
match that
I'm like,
too.
oh, everything's there. Perfect.
I've
I
seen
can
some
click
Instagram
everything.
bios have multiple links now too, though, so I don't know
Oh,
if that's
really?
gonna take away the need for one, but I don't know how many links you can have. I've only seen like 3 maximum, so I'm not sure.
It was always just my website, because my website also kind of works like a link tree because it's all right there too. But I have the Pink Lily, like my sponsorship stuff. on
Right,
there.
yeah. So I like to do banners / covers for platforms as well that say like out this date, pre-save now, and then like once the music's released, have one to change over that says out now, just to keep up with things for when people are going to your page. That's like the first thing they can see. And this is also a good time to update your EPK and your artist bio. So not just updating your social platforms bios, but the one on your website and your EPK, and also like Spotify and Apple Music have an artist bio. I think Amazon Music does. I don't know for other platforms, because those are the 3 main ones that I think of. But just making sure all of that's up to date as well. Another thing is email lists are still a thing, so you can use those, but don't spam people. You don't want to be constantly emailing them like every day, like, have you pre-saved? Have you pre-saved? But I would say at least just do an announcement email with the pre-save and then an out now email. Maybe, I don't know if you would do any other ones, but I don't want to spam people.
It depends
so
how, yeah, I think it really depends on what you want your email campaigns to be. Like, do you want them to be centered around just when you have releases, or some people do like a blog, like a monthly blog type thing as well, or just like a monthly, like, here's what's coming up show wise, and kind of keep everything concise. So it really just depends on how you want to do it, but there are definitely some good ways. If you Google like email campaigns, you can work with things like MailChimp, and even your website might have like, or distribution company might have some email campaign solutions.
Hi.
As well.
Hi.
Why are you so clingy today? No, the pizza's not for you, Anne.
I knew he was gonna be smelling the boxes.
What did he do?
Just the whole tongue. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep talking. We'll see what happens. So once the song's out, like, you want to keep posting about it and make sure the hype stays alive. The work really isn't done once the song's out because you want to just like kind of extend the length of the life of the song.
I have seen so many of my friends be like, consistent posting is really after the song is out is really what does it, because like you can tease the song all day long, but people want like very few links. So if they're like linking to pre-save and then have to go back into the app after they've already forgotten that they've done it, it's a whole different thing from going from one app to the other to listen to that song in its entirety already and add it to playlists and do all of those things like easy when it's out.
Yeah, so you want to continue posting those like TikToks, Reels, YouTube Shorts. I mean, everyone does it, but literally just you singing parts of the song, having some sort of interesting eye-catching thing in the video would be helpful too. But
that, or even I've seen a lot of my friends or I've seen my one that I take interest in literally just does like 2 pictures, and it's like some message on one picture,
yeah, you
and
can
then
do that
the
too.
Next is like the song lyrics.
Mix
oh
of
my
both.
gosh, I can't believe my ex said this, and then the next photo is that was Lauren's campaign.
Oh, okay.
But that's not who I was thinking of, but that's what she was saying. And then the next, and then underneath is the song, or like it's part of the song lyrics over some other over the text message. It's stuff like that, so.
Right. And I feel like it may feel like you are annoying people by posting on not so much like Instagram, because Instagram is kind of different. Of you don't want to be posting multiple times
annoy
a
people
day.
on Instagram.
I mean,
that
you can,
was what
but like
I was really like, oh my gosh, I'm just being so annoying. Whereas TikTok,
but
there
TikTok's
really
meant
is
to be posting
so
multiple
much
times
that
a
you
day.
don't even see. Like some of the people that I see every single day, I still have only seen like a third of their videos, and I go to their page and I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed this video and this video. Like how?
Which I want to say I heard this from Smithfield talking about when they're promoting stuff on TikTok. It's gonna feel like you're just kind of beating a dead horse with it, of like, that's such a bad saying, but you're just gonna be annoying people because you're posting the same song over and over and over, but you're not posting for the people who already follow you. You're posting for your For You page of people who are gonna see that for the first time, because most of the videos are, or the people who are on the people who get the video on their For You page is probably not someone who's already following you, and it's going to be their first time hearing the music. So,
and honestly, sometimes even with my favorite artists, it takes me a couple times to catch on, like, oh wait, I've been singing this song, like, oh, I really like it, and then I'm excited for their release. So
right, yeah, it takes time sometimes, and it takes multiple videos sometimes. So
it's the same thing I think of
feel
when I used to go out to shows. My parents would always be like, say your name after every couple of songs, because it takes an average person like at least 3 times of hearing something to remember it.
Even if it's like, it feels like, oh, I've posted this song like 50 times, then I don't know what the time span is for 50 videos, but hopefully it is doing what it's meant to do and not overdoing it. And I mean, you had the idea of not even really a video, but more like the 2-picture thing. So it could be on TikTok as well, but you could also do posts of like, oh, have you checked out my song yet? What's your favorite lyric from the song? Things like that.
Call to actions and your captions
1 week since release.
Instagram and Facebook and Twitter are going to be your main points there.
And other content to support post-release, you could do a lyric video or a music video or a visualizer. I had to look up what a visualizer meant definition-wise, because I'm like, is it not just a music video?
A lyric video
it's
and music
like
video. It's that in between.
Or it's they don't necessarily have lyrics. It's more of a simplified music video, so it's like more budget-friendly, I guess, and still gives some sort of visualization for the song for people to check out. So that's an option if you don't want to do a full-blown music video. And also Spotify campuses are a thing, and I like how I think it's more eye-catching when people post stories of songs from Spotify and it has a canvas versus just like the little square of the song.
I
So
get annoyed with it though when I'm trying to do multiple people and I go to share and I can't just like minimize it and put other people's on because it's like the videos in the background and it doesn't make sense and it annoys me.
I don't know. I still think
Canvas video,
there's an option to do
don't
it.
Not do it because it definitely.
There's an option to share without the video though. So
there is.
There's like 3 different options that you can pick from.
I just go share.
Okay. Also, booking a release show is another great way to promote a release, and this could be anything from a full band ticketed show to a full band showcase, or even just a writer's round to help promote the release of the song. So if you're in Nashville, like trying to get on a lineup like Nashville Tour Stop for writers rounds, or Bus Call for a full band showcase, or Tour Stop for a full band showcase.
And people love celebrating with you. So if you're going to a thing that you've never done, but you really want to try and it's maybe a little bigger and you're like, look, I'm having a release already. It's going to draw because then they get to promote more with their own showcase. It's not just an everyday showcase for them either. So it's going to draw more of a crowd. Hopefully you're going to want to invite more people. You're going to put the work in to promote it. It's an incentive for both parties involved. So
release shows are fun, but also a good way to promote as well. And then moving on out of that stuff, also I guess some of that at the end was kind of miscellaneous, but if you have the budget for it, you could also do some advertising, so running ads on social media to promote the release, or you can look into print advertising in music magazines such as Music Row. I don't know what that runs as far as cost, but that's I'm assuming it's kind of expensive. But there are things like that if you have a budget. And like obviously billboards are usually a whole lot, but I know there's the Nashville sign.
There is one
that does 8 seconds of fame, and you have your ad displayed in a 30-minute window where it's shown in a rotation at least once every 2 minutes. And it, as of when we're recording, I don't know if they'll ever increase the cost, but it's $250 right now.
Oh, that's increased already since I looked into it a couple of years ago. So it was $200 back then. So,
but you like schedule it so that way you're able to be there when it's happening. So that way you can also be getting content of like taking your picture in front of the sign and stuff like that.
It's a really cute thing that I've seen a lot of my friends do, and something that I just like to see if the return on it actually does what it seems to want to do, but it's a really cute little thing that they have.
I think they want to somehow, I don't really see how it is, but equate it to like having Times Square stuff going on.
That's what that corner is supposed to look like.
It is a very busy one traffic wise, so that's why I'm like, maybe return on investment, people would see it a lot because of how many people drive through there, but it's not like really a good place for walking like Times Square would be. So I don't know how it's supposed to be Times Square, but I would be interested in doing it at some point. I just gotta figure out when I want to do that for what song or what project. So and then just the last thing that I have is, I titled this The Little But Important Things. So just more businessy things to remember for releasing music, and they may seem little, but they're definitely important things because they're how you actually get paid. Or at least the first part is of registering your song in the following places to ensure payment of royalties to you and your collaborators. So your PRO, BMI, ASCAP, etc., the MLC, and Sound Exchange are your 3 places. And then it's optional, but you can register the copyright with the Copyright Office, but that's something not everyone does anymore just because it does add up if you're doing it for every song.
You really should do it.
I don't do it.
It can come back to bite you in the ass if you don't.
Okay. I don't do it, but it's because you own your copyright from the moment that you create it, so you don't technically have to. That's why we're saying it's not required, but if you were to be into like,
if you get sued for whatever reason, like it does add up at the end of it sometimes, and it does take effect that if you're like, if you file after the fact and then you have to argue dates potentially of like when you,
that's why you write down when you write stuff.
I'm just saying it's better to be safe than sorry sometimes, but it does add up. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I
Because
guess
it's
we're on
going to
other
look
sides
better
of it.
if you, even if you have a date that's before the other person's date, but if you're just registering it now, it does look fishy then. And they did say that in the one Ed Sheeran guy that came, the lawyer.
Oh.
He said that. So that's
Okay.
why I've always been like,
I don't know. I just know it adds up, so that's a lot of money for
But I've done it.
independent artists.
But you can group them. If you group
Yeah, but
them,
still.
that's better. Like, I would do your whole album as one, but
Yeah. Oh well. It'll be okay.
it's only $70 then, so.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, it doesn't look that bad anymore, because it's better online.
Okay. All right. Well, that was the end of what I had, since I just figured end with the little, like, smaller things. Do you have any other thoughts as far as things for releasing music that
No, I
should
think
be
that was a
known?
really good overall list. If you're ever stuck for ideas on promoting things, look for targets that are already being approached on TikTok by searching. Using the TikTok artist features on your account have been really useful lately. I think I've seen a lot of return on that, of using like their suggested videos and content and stuff.
Okay.
And so search what's already being used out there. If your song deals with X, search X. If your song's with love and heartbreak, search what's trending in love and heartbreak, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if Love is Blind is trending and you have a song that resembles one of the couples, start promoting it. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I like wrote a song about that. And then like
Right.
be creative
can
and
do
be
stuff
authentic
like that.
to what it is. Don't try
Well-
to push things.
I love that you were like, be authentic. And I'm about to say, like, you can be like, oh, I wrote a song about this, even if it was before Love is Blind came out. But
Oh, that's
like,
very
just
true.
for like the TikTok purpose, you can be like, oh, I wrote it about this couple.
I mean, when people were doing like tell me what to write about in the comments. Like, my biggest thing with this is Gail. When Gail wrote ABCDEFU, somebody in the comments was somebody in her management group that people didn't realize was down in Atlanta, and they had written a comment and said, write a song about the alphabet. And then in the next video, she had write a song about the alphabet, and it was the ABCDEFU song, and it blew up because people like to say, oh my god, my comment made a difference.
Yeah.
Using comments too, don't
Right.
have them in your back pocket. It doesn't even matter if it's been a month since that comment was posted. Bring it up. It will rebuzz things. Like, don't be especially because we said on TikTok, it seems like, oh my god, but really TikTok's timeline is all over the place.
Yeah.
It really isn't cohesive as the other ones are. So
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of like start of October videos on my For You page right now.
and when things, and TikTok specifically too, I feel like trends resurface a lot every so often. So like 2 years down the road, you could have been like on the tail end of a trend that had just died out, but it was like, hey, remember this 2 years ago? And then your song is top of the list for the next time that trend rolls around. So you just never know.
Yeah.
Use things like CapCut too, which is a tie-in with TikTok, and
That's very good for editing
that
stuff.
one is
yeah.
an editor
There's
site,
lots of trends
but they
with
have
CapCut.
a lot of trend things that work and integrate well into TikTok. So
Yeah.
that would be all. my
Yeah, and
extras.
when you're doing, I guess just a thought that came up in my mind right now, of when you are promoting music, still post other stuff. Still post, like, you can do your little fun photo dumps of like just November photo dump, things like that, to have that like personal, authentic to you parts too. That's not just like, listen to my song, pre-save my song, and like only be like, I want something from you. It's like you can also just share your own personal stuff, or just like fun videos and entertainment things that aren't asking for something from the people that are watching it too.
Right.
Just because it's good to have some other things other than promoting as well, just to balance it out a little bit so people don't feel like you're always asking for stuff.
Yeah. Well, sounds
Yeah.
good. We talked a lot longer than I thought we were going to. We always do that, though.
So if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, you can send them to the Music Lens Podcast at gmail.com. And you can follow us at the Music Lens Podcast on all the socials, and Alex at Alex Allegra Music, and myself at KDV Music on all the socials. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.